the children forward for a children's message.
So today I'm going to talk to you guys about peer pressure. Every day, around 500 kids begin using drugs, 1,000 begin drinking alcohol, and over 100,000 start bringing weapons to school. 3,610 teens are assaulted, and 2,200 teens drop out of high school. Every generation has had its own pressures, but the current faces perhaps the toughest and most dangerous of challenges. There's pressure to drink and try alcohol, pressure to try to do drugs, pressure to disobey parents, and the worst is pressure to disobey God. When a person does these pressures, they are falling victim to their own sinful nature. The end result is not worth the short-term feelings. So I have some Bible verses here about peer pressure. And the first is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 17. It says, "The highway of the upright avoids evil. He who guards his way guards his life." Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean you have to. And then Exodus 23, verse 2. "Do not follow the crowd in doing wrong. Just because you are young doesn't mean you can't set an example and refuse to follow the in crowd." And then there's Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, in faith, and in purity." And then where does peer pressure come from? Friends, society, pop culture. And since friends have the most influence, let's take a look at that. It says in Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17, it says, "A friend loves at all times." If a person really is your friend, they won't try to talk you into doing something bad. They will show love by not leading you down the wrong paths. Some of you, when you get older, might have the wrong kind of friends. Now, 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14, "Do not be put together with unbelievers. For what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness?" And then Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. "He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm." Children bombarded by images of drugs, rebellion, violence in TV, movies, video games, and the internet. Pop culture says it's okay to do drugs and drink and the like, but it's not, because if you do that, you're going to stray farther and further from God. So as you go home today, I want you to remember those verses. Let's have a word of prayer. Dear God, I pray that these kids, as they grow older, do not stray from the path of God, and that they do not try to get curious and do these drugs and do the bad things, and they obey God and their parents. Amen.